Okay, so first off, we're gonna start off with our tomato sauce. I usually don't use ragu, but this is all I had, and this ragu is actually pretty good. And then what I do is I add some diced tomatoes to give it some texture. This is the brand I use. You can use whatever you want. You don't even have to use diced tomatoes. But and then next, what I do is I add some water. I do like a third of the jar, and I get all the extra sauce that was left behind. Pour that in, and then I also add some tomato paste. Whatever brand you like, you don't even have to do this step again. But this is what I do. Let that simmer on the back burner. So now we're going to move on to our ground beef. I add in half of this pork chorizo. This combination is amazing. If you ain't had this yet, definitely try it like this. So, or you can skip over if you don't eat pork, whatever. Add your onion. I do one whole onion, and then I let that cook. While that's cooking, I then do my chicken. I didn't have any breast, which I really prefer. These are thighs, so I'm just gonna use what I have. Season your water and let that boil and cook and cook till it's done. These are the seasonings that I use. You can use whatever you want, but these are my go-to seasonings. I use this for everything. So next we're going to drain the beef. After we do that, we're going to then season it with those same seasonings that I just showed you. Once you do that, we're going to stir it in very well, and then we're going to set that to the side for a second. So we're going to take some of that tomato sauce that we just had, set it to the side, and then we're going to add the ground beef to the rest of that tomato sauce, and then just stir that in very well. Now we're going to shred our chicken, and then we're going to set that to the side because now we're going to make our homemade alfredo sauce. So I use this whole container of heavy whipping cream. I add in 1 package of cream cheese and a stick of butter, and then some seasoning. And then I stir that in very well. The seasoning I use salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. And you want to keep stirring that to get it smooth, to get rid of all those chunks. Then I add in a cup of Parmesan and a cup of mozzarella cheese. And again, stir that in very well. And you're going to keep stirring because you don't want the sauce to stick to the bottom of your pan. And then again, you don't want it to be chunky, those chunks of cream cheese. So then I add in a half a cup of Parmesan cheese and stir that in very well as well. Okay, so then we're going to take some of that Alfredo sauce and add it to our shredded chicken. Mix that in and then set that to the side. I added a little bit more seasoning, Italian seasoning, but you don't have to. Now for our filling, I do 2 cups of cream cheese. 2 cups of sour cream, 2 cups of ricotta cheese, and a cup of mozzarella cheese. Mix that in very well. This one's going to be for the beef. I don't add any spinach to that one. You can add spinach if you wanted to, but I didn't add spinach to the beef. And go ahead and put your lasagna noodles on and let that start cooking. In the meantime, we're going to do the same thing for the filling for the chicken, but this time I'm going to add spinach. So just shred up your spinach and then add it to that mixture. And then set that to the side. Now for your lasagna noodles, you want them to be al dente, where they're not cooked all the way through, because once you put them in the oven, they're going to cook some more. So you don't want your noodles to be mushy. So it should look something like that. Now for my cheese that I put in my lasagna, I do monster cheese. I shred that up, put that in a bowl, and then I add in a package of Italian style cheese, and I just mix that together. So you want to take some of that Alfredo sauce, put it on the bottom of your pan, Set it to the side. Now let's start rolling. So here's step one. You'll put your filling down first on a lasagna noodle, and then you're going to put your chicken down, and then you're going to put your cheese. Just trying to show you how it kind of looks, and I'm going to show you in a second how to actually roll it up. So there's step three, the cheese. You don't want to put too much on there because it's going to come out the side. And see how I left some room at the end on this one? Because like I said, it's going to come out the side. Once you start rolling, it's going to you're going to have to smash it down, and it's going to actually go to the end all the way. You see right there, see how I'm smashing it down? So I'm going to see how it comes all the way through. So put those in your pan. Pour the rest of that alfredo sauce on top. Put some of that cheese mixture on top, and then bake it in the oven until it's golden brown on top. So here's the process for the beef. Same exact thing. Did the same thing as the chicken. Put the filling down, the beef, the cheese, roll, put sauce down in the pan. Put some more sauce on top and put the cheese on top as well. So repeat the process, but just different ingredients.